This is the new LPD Pedals CLE-304 Compressor and Boost EQ. And I'm gonna show you 3 practical ways to use this. And these are also ways that I would personally use this. It works great on its own, but it's also a perfect complement to your overdrive and distortion pedals. And a really useful device to have on your pedal board. Okay, so the first way to use this pedal is just how it is. We've got compressor on the right side going into the equalizer slash boost on the left side. So here's my clean sound with the pedal bypassed. Compressor on. So for compressor, we've got 3 controls. We've got the level, output level, comp level or compression level, and then we've got a blend knob. So on the blend knob, all the way left is 100% compression. So you can kind of hear the squashiness. Obviously up the middle would be 50-50 dry and compressed. All the way right is completely dry, so no compression. That's just getting the level boost. I like to set it, you know, maybe halfway between totally compressed and 50-50. Can goose the compressor all the way up. But you'll notice it doesn't get super squashy. Just squashy enough. And obviously you can control the level so you can actually boost the signal a little bit. Kind of makes it a little more lively. It can make your clean sound a little more interesting, a little more intense sounding, I guess. A little more interesting sounding. See, that sounds a little bit weak. This gives a little bit of perceived muscle, I guess. But generally I would use the compressor on its own, kind of to like either level out the signal. So for instance, if I'm using something with both humbuckers and single coils and maybe they are not totally matched in volume. You know, humbuckers tend to be a little bit louder in signal. You can use the compressor to kind of even everything out, pickup to pickup. Without the compressor. Moving on to the left side. So the way that this works in normal operation is guitar signal or whatever instrument signal goes through the compressor first, and it's actually internally jumpered, so it goes from compressor into equalizer slash boost. But there is actually a way to reverse this where you hit the equalizer first and then the compressor, and I'll show you guys that in a little bit. The equalizer side is a 3-band EQ, 3-knob EQ. You got bass, middle, treble, as well as a boost knob. So if I have everything set to 12, it really shouldn't be doing anything. Let's check it. Now I can boost or cut the bass, maybe something like that. Now I can add a little bit of boost to the signal. And now it's acting like almost an overdrive pedal, because I'm boosting the front end, not only with a volume boost on this knob, but we're cutting and boosting certain frequencies with these knobs. I can increase the mids. So really, you can almost use this as like a boost overdrive pedal. A little more. Let's compare it. That's all the way up. So if you put these together, then you've got, you can almost treat it like adding 2 more gain stages to your signal. So you've got like your clean signal. You can click on the boost EQ. The compressor can add a little more gain if you turn up the level knob, as well as sustain, because the compressor can help sustain notes. More sustain. So here's another cool setting. Clean tone. Got a little boost. Okay, the second way to use this pedal, and probably my favorite way to use it, is using the built-in effects loop. The 2 middle jacks on the top are a send and return for the internal effects loop. So what this does is your guitar signal goes through the compressor, you can send the out of the compressor to another pedal, and then that goes through the EQ boost path and then out to your amp. So you're basically putting a pedal of your choice in between the compressor and the equalizer. And I find that it works great with overdrives and distortion type pedals, because that's how I kind of use it on my normal pedal boards. I like to put a little compressor before my gain pedals to add a little bit of sustain, like when I'm soloing. And then I'll use a boost pedal and an EQ pedal at the end of the drives to do kind of like a final shaping of the sound as well as boost the signal. So I've got the LPD Lucent Overdrive chained through the effects loop of the CLE. So when I turn on the compressor, you'll hear it kind of get a little more compressed, but also add a little more sustain. The tone is a little bit rounder. I can tell that it's going to hold out a little bit longer. And obviously I can turn up the compression and the level to give it a little more juice. Additionally, adding EQ after the overdrive signal gives it a little boost in overdrive as well. So really, you can think of it as adding 2 more gain stages to your existing overdrive pedal. You've got your overdrive. You can add the EQ, boost, and then add the compressor. So in a gigging situation, I could have the loosened overdrive kind of always on as my cleanish edge of breakup signal. And if I want a little more distortion, click on the boost EQ. And when it comes time to solo, add the compressor. So really, it's a natural way of adding kind of 2 more gain stages to one overdrive, right? So without the overdrive, this is what we have going through the compressor and the EQ. Not too much gain added there. So it's not really like you're adding another overdrive pedal and daisy chaining them. It's really using the characteristics of the overdrive pedal and boosting certain frequencies and cutting certain frequencies as well as compressing certain frequencies. So it's really a natural way of gain staging a single overdrive. So the third way you can use this pedal is something I kind of hinted on earlier, and that's reversing the signal path. So instead of going into the compressor first, we're going to go into the EQ first, go through the loop, and then compressor out. And in order to do that, we just have to change a little bit of the cabling. So we're going to go in through the EQ side. So basically, you can think of these two as an in and out of the compressor and an in and out for the EQ. So we're going to go into the EQ first. We're going to take the out of the EQ and go into our overdrive pedal. And then the out of the overdrive pedal is going to go into the in of the compressor. And then out of the compressor, out to the amp. Since we are putting the compressor last, the compressor is going to be able to squash down everything. And the EQ is going to be boosting the front end of the overdrive. So it's going to add more gain without necessarily adding a big volume boost. So let's try it. EQ. So we're basically putting a boost with EQ in front of the overdrive, which can be very effective for certain overdrives like the Lucent, which only has a single tone knob. We're kind of adding a 3-knob EQ to this overdrive. So if we want to cut the bass, boost the mids, maybe a little bit more high end. So here again is our baseline overdrive sound. And we can use the EQ for that added gain. And it's quiet. Let's turn on the compressor. And in this configuration, you can use the level knob of the compressor as like a master out. So I can crank up the overdrive and crank up the EQ boost and use the compressor side to level it down so it's not super loud, but you're still getting that saturation and that distortion. So it's good if you want a bedroom volume distorted sound. And at these low volumes, sometimes you want to hear certain frequencies a little bit louder. Pretty cool, huh? All right, guys, there you have it. That's the LPD Pedals CLE-304. If you have any comments or questions, please leave them down below. I will leave a link in the description to how you can acquire one of these. Thanks again to Lawrence Petros for letting me check this out. And if you'd like to see more videos like this, gear demos and guitar lessons, click that subscribe button. Thanks again for watching. I'm Ronquillo, and I'll see you in the next video.